Hello, are you coming to the interview?
Yes.
Great, let's get started.
Imagine you are a primary school principal where a group of your students demands the introduction of Islam religion in the timetable.
It's a public school which is called Severo Ochoa. It's situated on the outskirts of Murcia in a small town called Los Garres. This school offers an education for children and primary school. It's not Catholic, so the subject of religion is not compulsory but optional, with the option of choosing it or not. In this school, there are students from different cultures where each of them has their own ideology, so it's a school that admits students without any discrimination. The management team will accept the proposal to introduce the Islamic religion in class time, provided that is demanded by a large group of students. This new religion will be presented to a student on an optional basis, offering them a team of well-qualified teachers trained in the teaching of Islam. It should be borne in mind that the introduction of this religion should be done in a respectful manner, taking into account the belief of all students and the community in general.
For this introduction, the school will carry out the following process. 1. Consult the school council and the teaching staff about the expected start of the topic of Islam. 2. Following this research, the legal guardians of students' interest in the subject of Islamic religion should be consulted in order to know the number of students who want to enroll in the subject and to plan its inclusion in school hours. 3. Request permission to introduce the Islamic religion to the Regional Ministry of Education. 4. Establish the necessary resources for the introduction of such teaching, such as suitable spaces, materials, and teachers. 5. Determine a plan of action to incorporate this Islamic religion. 6. Choose the teaching team that will be responsible for providing this education. 7. Teachers of Islamic religion will meet to organize the contents and methodology they will carry out with their students. 8. Ensure that the materials we need are available. 9. Once all the steps mentioned above have been carried out, this religion will be taught in school. And finally, supervise the development of Islamic religion classes in the school. This process is supported by the following official documents: Law 16/1992, Law 3/2020, and Law 7/1980. Students, parents, teachers, the management team, and officials of the Regional Ministry of Education are all involved in this process. The peer-to-peer connection is first located. It can be seen as the beginning of this process, allowing students to work together to present their proposal to professors. They were able to get their proposition heard and their requirements satisfied because to this relationship, which has had a good impact. This method also takes into account linkage within the educational context. For example, when a group of students ask the instructor to add a new religion in the curriculum, the teacher should then determine which students, aside from the spokespersons, support the idea. It will be easy to determine whether other students feel the same way about the necessity to fulfill the same idea, which will have a beneficial impact. We also discover a relationship between teachers and students. It is crucial in this instance. The students have faith that the teachers will support them and put their suggestion into action once they have heard it from them. The pupils' ability to introduce the Islamic religion to the school has been a benefit of this partnership. If you were a principal, what would be the 5 main points of your program related to coexistence? These could be my 5 points of my program related to coexistence. 1. Effective communication. In order for a school program to be effective, it must emphasize the value of efficient communication and promote healthy and enriching social interaction among staff members, instructors, and students. 2. Mutual respect. Respect for one another is essential for peaceful coexistence at school. Regardless of ethnic, gender, or other distinctions, the curriculum should place a strong focus on the value of respect and tolerance for others. 3. Culture of inclusion. A culture of inclusiveness should be promoted by an effective educational program. This entails fostering a climate in which each student, irrespective of their aptitudes or unique personal traits, feels appreciated and a part of the school community. 4. Shared values. An effective school program should have clear shared values that guide the behavior of all members of the school community. 5. Conflict resolution programs. In order to coexist in peace and harmony, it's crucial for students to master conflict resolution skills. Programs for conflict resolution that educate students how to resolve disputes calmly and successfully should be a part of any successful school curriculum. This might involve open and courteous communication, negotiation, and mediation. following points include some of the key elements that contribute to my organization complexity. Diversity and redundancy are related to the points shared values and an inclusive culture, which is about how connection between different areas of the organization can emerge as experience and ideas are explored and shared. Effective communication, conflict resolution programs, and mutual respect are all closely related to the idea of emerging knowledge through connection. This means that connection between people, groups, and resources at all levels of an organization are where ideas, innovation, and developments are discussed, evaluated, and occasionally modified and integrated. My style is democratic. An effective democratic leader promotes respectful discussion among all members of the school community while listening to their thoughts and concerns. Additionally, it emphasizes the idea of respecting one another and being tolerant of one another's difference in order to foster an environment where these and other discussions are respected. A democratic leader also develops clear, common ideals that direct everyone in the school community's behavior. By putting conflict resolution programs into place, a democratic leader emphasizes the value of peaceful and successful conflict resolution. As a future teacher, how have the different educational laws affected the attention to diversity in the Spanish educational system? One of the most significant changes was the approval of the Organic Law for the Improvement of Educational Quality, LONCE, in 2013. The LONCE introduced several measures to promote inclusion and attention to diversity, such as the creation of specific programs for students with special educational needs, the promotion of intercultural education, and the incorporation of a gender perspective into the curriculum. However, the LOMCE has been criticized by some groups for its lack of focus on social justice and equity. In response to this criticism, the Spanish government approved a new education law in 2020, known as the Organic Law for the Modification of the Organic Law for the Improvement of Educational Quality, LOMLOE. The LOMLOE aims to promote a more inclusive and equitable educational system by placing a stronger emphasis on social justice, inclusion, and diversity. Organic Law on Education, LOE 2021. This law, which has not yet been fully implemented, aims to take a further step towards educational inclusion and attention to diversity. The LOE establishes inclusive education as a right and a duty of the education system. In the past, the Spanish educational system was characterized by a segregated model in which students with special educational needs, including those with disabilities, were educated separately from their non-disabled peers. This approach led to isolation, stigmatization, and limited opportunities for students with special educational needs to develop their full potential. Over the years, the Spanish educational system has evolved from a segregated model to an inclusion model that seeks to provide all students with equitable access to quality education and the opportunity to reach their full potential. Inclusion promotes diversity, social justice, and equity in education, recognizing that every student has unique needs, strengths, and talents. An example of diversity in a primary school classroom can be language diversity. In Spain, many students come from homes where languages other than Spanish are spoken. As a result, it's common for classrooms to have students who are learning Spanish as a second or third language. In this context, inclusion means recognizing the linguistic diversity of students and providing support to ensure that all students can participate fully in the learning process. Question number 4. Please answer reflectively the following questions. I think that I deserve an 8.5 since I have put a lot of effort into all the tasks that we have had to do during this time. I have prepared well for the presentation and I consider that I have attended classes regularly, with some exceptions. I also think that I have been a good partner and have always collaborated with others. The most crucial idea that I have learned has been the issue of coexistence, since it seems to me fundamental in school for the integral development of the child, and it also encourages civic responsibility. The topic that we have dealt with in this course and that I would not have imagined before has been the different leadership that we can find in the school. This seemed to me crucial for a school director, so that he has a good identification of his type of leadership and he leads it correctly. Thanks to dealing with this in class, I have been able to identify my leadership. What seemed most important to me has been the PAP, that is an organizational document that includes all the organizational and methodological measures to respond to the needs of students with acne. I believe that all teachers should be aware of this document in order to meet the needs of certain students and that they give it the importance it deserves. I think that now I am more aware of diversity, since I had never delved into this topic and I find it quite interesting. Thanks to this subject, I will begin to take into account diversity in people and to think much more about others. Making this video, I have learned to know how to better handle technology. I have also learned to focus on important content and have clear ideas. At first, I felt a little stressed, but I learned to calm down and trust the process.
It has been amazing. The job is yours.
Oh, thank you. Bye.